Hey, 420 MSP, Harry here, and I'm with a new friend, Vic. And Vic, welcome aboard in the cannabis technology space. So, sir, it's very simple. What is your story?
Oh, yeah, it's an interesting one, and thanks for having me, Harry. I really appreciate it. Great to be connected to your group and your community. We are an Italian company. Fundamentally, our business is a manufacturing business, and we manufacture everything to do with automating the cash handling process. We've been around for almost 66 years now. Italian heritage, family-run business. So they've done extremely well. We supply our technology globally. And we recently, about 2.5 years ago, we established a local office here in the US to service the US market a lot better than what we were doing before. We had a presence in the US through partners, and we still continue to work through partners, but we wanted to invest in the market ourselves and build our own office here to support our partner community a lot better. Um,
Yeah, and the company is CIMA. It's just an acronym, or do you actually pronounce it?
Well, being an Italian company, they actually pronounce it CIMA, not CIMA, but it is also an acronym. And The acronyms are a long story, but it has no relevance to cash handling, believe it or not. But nevertheless,
Oh, sure.
we're fundamentally a 100% cash handling manufacturing business, right?
Well, shout out to Italy, Italians. I Many years ago, I don't even know how I was involved. If it was startup or something, but it had to do with the club fitness equipment came from a manufacturer in Italy, and that somehow the people I were interacting with were looking at using their fitness equipment. And number one, it was expensive, but number two, it was extremely high quality. I forget the name of the fitness manufacturer, but the point is, I was impressed. You think of German precision, maybe with your Mercedes Benz. I was impressed by Italian manufacturing. So let's give you a thumbs up right away. So what's a day in a life in the dispensary for
Yeah,
for
it's
you and your equipment?
No, it's really interesting. I've been fortunate enough through, again, our partners and their reach in a lot of the geographies that we are represented in to be introduced into the cannabis retail space. And I've been connected to that space directly with some of the retailers in the market for probably just over a year now. And
Yeah.
the one thing that I've learned in just spending time with our partners as well as the retailers themselves is that that cash is a major problem for the businesses. When I say problem, I mean they love the fact that they're generating so much cash, obviously.
Yeah.
Uh, but having said that, managing the cash and the load that it puts on their operational process inside of the stores is immense. And and we were lucky enough to spend quite a bit of time architecting a solution that might help one of the retailers specifically that we work with in the Detroit area, and just helping his business streamline how they manage cash, simplify the whole process, and fundamentally automate everything they do with preparing cash. So our systems, um, they automate the whole float preparation process so they don't have to batch prepare floats anymore. They issue those floats out to their team, and then throughout the day, they're able to deposit surplus money and get change back. And then at the end of the day, they literally just dump all their money back into our machines for recycling, and then they can get their floats the next day. So we've really taken almost 99% of the manual handling of cash away from the people in the store so that they can do better things, which is run their store and generate revenue, right? So,
Yep.
yeah.
Well, and I would offer, and I'm on your website, kind of poking around here, and you certainly do fit in what I call cannabis technology or Canatech. This is, yeah, definitely a technology function, and it would seem that um, the steps you're taking provide some security, for lack of a better word, right? Cash has a way of disappearing, it's been said. So I'm assuming that's maybe one of your pillars, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
security.
So think of our equipment as being a safe. In its DNA, fundamentally, our machines are safes. They just happen to have some pretty cool intelligence built on top of them to allow for the automating of the depositing and the dispensing of the cash. But fundamentally, all of the cash and all of the money, whether it's notes and coins, sit inside a safe. And those safes are accessed just like any other traditional safe would through digital and manual keypads, so on. And they're bolted into the ground to provide that security. So yes, at the end of the day, they are safes. They just happen to have all of this mechanics as well as intelligence built onto them to manage that in and out of money.
And going with the safe theme, what, for lack of a better word, what's the density of the siding and the thing? So I can't take a sledgehammer to it, right? These are pretty sturdy
No,
things.
absolutely, yeah, and all of our equipment come in various grades of safe, and in the safe world, safes are typically rated, and so we have what we call a day safe, which is 8 mil thick steel. We go up to UL 291 and CEN 3 and CEN 4 and all those things. Obviously, the higher the safe grade, the more the customer pays, simply because of the complexity of building a unit like that, as well as the logistics cost of moving a heavier device. But yes, absolutely, we take care of all of those things. But having said that, most of the time a standard UL 291 safe is typically okay for a retailer because they have all the other security measures around their back office, which are cameras and all those sorts of things. So they're typically happy with a standard UL 291 safe for our devices.
Yeah, cool. Well, let me end on a funny little safe story. And this is why it's interested in talking to you and getting to know you a little bit better. So I recently had the occasion to move to another part of the country, and we had the proverbial family safe back in the clothing closet, right? And that was one heavy dude. I mean, I had to get the pull cart. You weren't lifting that, and it was just a modest size safe. And I didn't think much about it. Of course, I'll take the safe. And then the other day, my youngest son, reached out over his spring break in these little shocked. His passport had expired. College kids, their minds are other places. So he needed a certified copy of his birth certificate. And thank goodness his mother had gotten two of those when he was born. So I open the safe. I pull out the envelope. Not only is there one, there's two. And it just got me thinking. I mean, again, a timely conversation to bump into you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to circle back to you next time. And maybe if you have more of a pitch deck about what you do, I'd like to help educate our audience. I know that we both attend, and I always like to say this, the RSPA cannabis community. I know we attend that. Hey, last question, just curious, in the mid-July, I think it's the Retail Now conference in Nashville for the RSPA. Is that the kind of thing you've exhibited at, or will you at least be attending? Will I see you there?
I've had an initial conversation with Jim Brody over at RSPA. I'm super keen to participate. I just haven't locked that in, but I absolutely intend on being there. I certainly think that showcasing what we do for broader retail, and cannabis is not just the segment. It just happens to be one of those segments that really needs some problems solved at the moment. But we play in pretty much every aspect of retail, whether it's grocery or fast food, QSR, and all of those.
Absolutely.
And so I definitely want to participate at Retail Now. I think it'd be a great opportunity to meet the community and get engaged.
Well, and you raise a valid point. We're talking on the 420 MSP channel today, and my niche is cannabis technology, but obviously you're much bigger than that. I see that on your website. So, Well, Vic, thanks for your time. And next time we'll do a double click down into, my guys are geeks. So any geeky stuff you can show us, appreciate it.
No, absolutely. As you can see behind me, we've got a whole lot of gear that, in various formats. So we're happy to share and show at any time.
All righty. Thanks, Vic.
Thank you for having me, Harry. I appreciate it.